Hello everyone and welcome to my brand new video. I have to apologize first that I have not posted in the past 2 weeks. I was really busy with work and life in general, so sorry for that. But today I have a very special video for you. I'm gonna be making a very special cake today, and this very special cake is for my birthday. I am turning 26 basically, which means I'm one step closer to death. For this recipe, I'm gonna be making a boiled chocolate cake. This is a cake that my mom used to make. I find it very delicious. It's very chocolatey, it's fudgy, and on top you have a chocolate glaze. So let's just get into the video where I'm gonna show you all of the ingredients that I'm gonna use. And if you're interested to make it yourself, I'm also gonna leave the recipe and the steps in the description below, so you can follow it at any time. So for this recipe you will need, as far as the liquids go, 250 grams of butter, 1 tablespoon of honey, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 5 eggs in room temperature, and half a cup of water. In case you're vegan, you can replace the butter with any vegan butter, the honey with whatever sweetener you would like. It just has to be in a liquid form. Agave or maple syrup would work well, and the eggs with applesauce. And for the dry ingredients, you will need 250 grams of flour, 6 tablespoons of cacao, 400 grams of sugar, a pinch of salt, and 1 packet of baking powder. So, first things first, we need to preheat our oven at 175 Celsius in up and down heat. In Greek this is diastasis, in English I don't really know the word, but that means you just need to have an oven with even heat. And 175 Celsius in Fahrenheit is I don't give a fuck. Like, you're American, get the fuck out of here. Transition to Celsius like every other person in this planet. And you will need a baking form of 25 to 35 centimeters. My mom told me that you can have a bigger baking form, but not a smaller one, because there is the possibility that your cake is gonna start overflowing in the oven if it is smaller, and then your whole oven is gonna be a mess, like your personality. So stick to a bigger pan, and yeah, that's the first step. So, for this part of the recipe, we'll need to melt the 250 grams of butter and the 300 grams of sugar. And the 100 grams that are left from the sugar, we're going to use it in the cake mixture. Now we're making the syrup, basically. And we will just add the butter and the sugar in medium heat in the pan, and we will wait until the sugar and the butter are melted and we have a glistening syrup. And after they are mixed and already melted, we will add the vanilla extract. So at around this point, I would say our mixture is done. You don't want to boil it too much, because then you were gonna burn it and you don't want to burn it. So at this stage, I would just take it on the side, let it cool, and you add the vanilla extract. So now that we have the vanilla extract in our mixture, we have to separate this mixture in half and refrigerate half of it, because this is going on top of our cake when it's done. And half of this mixture is gonna be mixed with our dry ingredients and the eggs. So, for this next step, we need to beat our 5 eggs with the 100 grams of sugar until we have a really frothy mixture. And after this is done, we just sift our flour, cacao, and salt into the wet ingredient, which is the eggs and the sugar. And after everything is mixed, we're also gonna add the cooled syrup that we left on the side. And then after everything is mixed, we just put it in the baking form into the oven, and then you have a boiled chocolate cake. Now we are adding our 5 eggs that are in room temperature in our bowl, and the 100 grams of sugar, and we're beating them until we have a frothy mixture. And we're gonna beat them like our Greek moms beat us when we were kids. We do not condone child abuse. Well, in some cases. So our mixture needs to be at around this frothiness level. Sorry for the cacao. And now we're just gonna mix the dry ingredient. And important tip, we are not mixing, we are folding the rest of the ingredients because we don't want to lose the frothiness of the eggs. While we're trying to open the baking powder, we're adding the rest of the dry ingredients, as I said. Now we have the cacao, the salt, some plastic, and the flour. Remember step 1 where we had to grease our baking form and add flour to it? Yeah, I didn't do that, so I have to do it now at the last step. You should really follow the recipe if you're doing this. Don't be like me because it's more suffering in the end. What do I need? Very unhinged. Anyways, we're gonna be greasing our baking form evenly as we can, and we're gonna also flour our baking form. You need your baking form to look this white. You basically want it to look as it is gonna start calling the manager. So yeah. Remember when we said our form needs to be some specific measurements? Well, mine wasn't. And my cake is a little on the thin side. But maybe we can rename this recipe into brownie with chocolate glaze. In the oven it goes for 15-20 minutes, basically until you pierce it with a toothpick and it comes clean. And as my Greek mom would do. So the cake is baked. I already checked it with the toothpick and came out clean, so this means it's ready. It took about 25 to 30 minutes to cook. It looks good. So now the last step is to pierce the cake with a fork. So now that we have the syrup on top, we're gonna let it cool for a little while. For me, this works. It looks exactly like my mom's. Well, not exactly, because my mom's was better, but it's a good dupe. Tastes exactly like my mom's. I miss her. So that was today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I feel like this video was very unhinged. It started very professional and it ended very unhinged. But other than that, thank you very much for watching again. I would say please drop a like, drop a comment, and drop a subscribe. That would mean the world to me. And please stay tuned for next week's video, because this weekend I'm going to Frankfurt and I'm gonna film my whole trip, and you're gonna see some exciting fun things that I'm gonna do in Frankfurt, some food, and yeah, stay tuned for that. Thank you, bye!